Hello YouTube, welcome back to our family. If you want to learn more about the reptile hobby's favourite, the ball python, then you are in the right place. So if you can do us a favour, if you can smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, get down in the comment section, that helps the channel hugely. And not only that, I enjoy interacting with you guys as well. So if you've got any questions or queries or any ideas for future content, that is where you need to be. So that just leaves, thank you everybody for the support. This season has been amazing for TOR, and next season only promises to be better and blow this one out of the water, so make sure you'll stay tuned for that. Thank you again for all of your support, and I will leave you to enjoy the video. So kick back, relax, have a brew, and I hope you all enjoy it. Right guys, welcome back. I have missed the last 2 weeks uploads, but to be honest, there's not been a great deal going on here up TOR, so I don't feel too badly about missing that. Sorry to you guys who feel hard done by that, but you know, times are busy at the minute. I've got my hands full with work and other things, so you know, the YouTube's just been stuck on the back burner, but it is only temporary. Between now and when the season gets fully up and running, there might be a bit of that here and there, but as soon as I've got something to share with you guys, then rest assured, you know, I'll be on it and I'll be sharing it. As I film this, we are at 199 subscribers, so if on the next upload I hit the 200, we'll do a t-shirt giveaway, maybe a couple, so make sure you stay tuned for that. What we're going to talk about in this video, I've got one female that's starting to show signs, so I'm going to give you a bit of an update on that, and I will of course keep you updated throughout her cycle. And the topic, or the main topic for this video, I'm just going to do a bit of a take on why breeders use rack systems and tubs in general as a preference over vivariums. There is a bit of bad stigma about racks. A lot of the information that's put out there is misguided and not factual. This was sparked by debates I've seen on other channels. Of course, I am, as a breeder, I am biased, and throughout this video I'll try and remain as impartial as I can be, and just try and lay out the facts as they come, so that anyone watching this, if they're going to take anything away, you know, the only reason you'd need to have a rack system is if you're keeping these animals on a scale. You know, more than sort of 5, you're probably going to need a rack system. If you've got less than that, if you're just keeping them as pets, you know, vivariums can be brilliant, and definitely more aesthetically pleasing. So we'll get into it, guys, and we'll discuss it. If you do have any input, as always, down in the comment section, I like to hear it, even if you don't agree. You know, as long as it's put across in a respectful manner, then, you know, we'll talk. So guys, you often hear us speak about watching the behaviour of your females when approaching the breeding season. Well, with the nights getting a lot cooler, the temperature naturally drops in this room, and it looks like our season is getting off to an earlier start. This female here, which you can see at the front of her tub for the past couple of weeks, she's been sort of glued to that cooler side of the tub. She's not been at the back where the heat is. She's recently stopped feeding after feeding quite aggressively, and she's just coming down off what was quite a severe glow, one of the more intense ones that I've seen. Not the most intense. I think the most intense one that I've seen was on a Mojave female that I no longer have, but this female has been glowing. That's now going down. She stopped feeding and now she's hugging the cool side, so ticking all the right boxes there. And she's been paired 3 times now to the pied male. I'm hoping to prove this girl out to be het for pied, so I'll keep you up to date with that, guys, how it goes. She's still got a bit of sort of semi-digested food in her, so it's not ideal to palpate her at this point. and sort of get an accurate feel of if or how big these follicles are that are developing in her, if they indeed are, which I'm convinced they are, but you never know for sure until you really feel that pop as you're palpating down your snakes. So this will be her first season. Really excited about that. She's homegrown as well. I produced her 3 years ago now, so yeah, excited about that. Just come up to this angle to get a bit of a better look at her. You can see she's nice and chunky. She's a pastel pinstripe inchy. So if she doesn't prove out to be heifer pied, I've paired her to a visual pied male. So any combination of those 3 genes that are visual in her, we can get any 3 combinations of them and they will be guaranteed heifer pied. So even if she doesn't prove out, it's not a terrible result, but I am hopeful. I did hold back her brother, who also has the banana gene, and he did prove out. I didn't hold back any of the others from that clutch, but fingers crossed. And yeah, it's just a little bit of a better look at her. I think she's progressing quite quickly actually, so hopefully we're going to see an ovulation fairly soon, which will get our season underway. But I'm not counting my chickens yet. It is her first season, so we will have to wait and see. But I haven't seen a bowl wrapping. I don't think my females do that because the ambient temperature in here is slightly warmer than what I would normally have it, with the hotspot being slightly cooler. With the nights getting cooler, it drops to about 22-23 degrees Celsius in here. So still plenty warm enough. And just bearing in mind, this is coming down off a glow, so you know, she looks like this now. You can imagine what she looked like 2 or 3 days ago. She was really glowing. I'm a bit annoyed I didn't get a picture of her actually, but a picture never really does it justice anyway. So yeah, I'll keep you up to date on her progress, guys. So rack systems and tubs in general, there's something that I'd like to highlight. So if any of you guys watched my last video, which I uploaded a couple of weeks ago, it was a reaction video to another video that I'd caught on YouTube. I was disgusted by what I saw, but that was in the reaction to the video. Some of you might not have seen it because it was for adult content only, and that was because my passion got the better of me and I did F and Jeff a little bit. So for that reason it was set as adult only. But what we did see in that video, I'll leave a clip of that here. One of the African snake farmers had managed to find a wild, I think it was a gravid female, and where they found it, I actually paused it and had a look, and it looked like this rodent run, which obviously leads to burrows, and it's known quite well throughout the industry that ball pythons in the wild spend the majority of their time underground, whether it's in termite mounds or underneath felled trees or in rodent burrows. Rodent burrows being a particularly good one because that means the food comes to them, and when you're an opportunistic feeder who doesn't move around quite as much as other species of snake, yeah, then you know that's a good place to hang your hat. So you might ask yourself then, what's the reason that ball pythons in the wild choose to live underground? The first one being the obvious one, security. You're out of sight and mind of any predators. And the second one, which people may not think of, is humidity will be higher. So you would only have to go to Africa, peel back the first layer of soil, and the layer underneath will be a different colour because it has more moisture in it. Depending on when the last rains were, depends on how deep you would have to go to reach that level of moisture, but it's always going to be more humid under the lower layers. And we know that ball pythons need the humidity, reptiles need the humidity to shed. So that is another reason. It might not be one that you think about, but it is one. And if they, like I said, if we're using, if they're using rodent burrows, you know, that will mean sometimes that the food comes to them, which is sort of an ingenious, natural solution to a problem, if you ask me. But what it does also mean is that probably by accident that rack systems very closely replicate what a ball python will be looking for in the wild. You know, it's small enclosed space. The tubs keep the humidity in very well, they hold the heat very well. So, you know, within that enclosed space, you know, this ball python has got everything it needs. So this acts as its secure burrow, or its termite mound, or whatever it is. So the ball python's got its security, it's got its heat, it's got its humidity. So on the flip side of the argument, vivariums, I have kept ball pythons. My first ball python that I still have now, you know, for the first couple of years of her life, I kept her in a viv before I got more. And I wish I had a picture of the viv, because I was in Cyprus at the time, and what I had was a terrarium. It was glass on all sides, which was no good whatsoever, and I even knew that back then. So what I did is I insulated 3 sides, the back and the two sides, and then I put cardboard around it so it looked like it was more enclosed. Did my best with it to make it look neat, and it had lighting. And once she'd grown out of her hide, what I did is I knocked a hole through the side of one of the... Excuse me, coughing fit there. I knocked a hole through the side of this terrarium, which led into another terrarium, much smaller, and it was fully insulated on all sides, completely dark, and it had a heat mat underneath it. And no sooner as I installed that, and the snake realised it was there, she spent 95% of her time, I would say, in that sort of hot box, I'll call it, where it was warmer and darker. And on the odd occasion at night, I'd hear her venture out into the larger vivarium, and that, you know, lots of people don't like the fact, but this is how ball pythons like it. Can you make a vivarium work and get everything bang on? Absolutely, yes you can. There was a lot more things to manage and to get right with a vivarium. For example, heating. You don't want to be using heat mats. You need to use a ceramic bulb, and a sort of a byproduct of using a ceramic bulb is that the heat for the bulb, with it being placed higher up, it will strip the humidity out of the air within the enclosure. So you have to manage that, which might mean that you need to keep your substrate a little bit damper, which can lead to more problems with producing mold and higher risk of the snake developing a respiratory infection. Not only that, cleaning is much more difficult when you're cleaning a viv, and I know this from experience. It might take you half an hour to 40 minutes to fully clean a vivarium, but one tub, 5 minutes a full clean. All you're doing is taking the tub out, putting the snake in another tub, getting rid of all the old substrate, scraping any debris off the bottom, hosing it down, disinfecting everything, wipe it all down, dead easy to do, put it back, new substrate, fresh water, clean water dish, and you're done. With vivariums, obviously you're taking all the furniture out, all that has to be cleaned, and it's much harder to clean. You know, any branches or logs that you might have in there, hides, any fancy water dishes, you know, you've got to take that out. Just before we call it a day, guys, there's something that I realised while I was doing the edit to this video, something that I missed, and it's quite important, I think, and it's worth taking on board. So and this is something that other breeders experience as well. Pretty much every breeder I've ever spoken to about this, they all experience the same thing. So whenever we're selling offspring to our surplus to people who are keeping as pets, and they've got like a nice vivarium set up beforehand, everything's, you know, on point, we get the animal up to size. I don't usually let my offspring go until it's beyond 100 grams and add 5 consecutive feeds, there or thereabouts, you know, depending on the experience of who it's going to. But once it gets there and it's ready to go, goes off to its new home, and they stick it into its viv a couple of weeks later. And this happens so much, where they're sending me a message and going, "My snake's not eating." So the first thing I'll do is just try and get an understanding of the husbandry, and 9 times out of 10 the advice that I will give will be take it out of its viv temporarily, stick it into a rub, some paper towels down and a water dish, maybe a hide, and leave it alone for a week or so, and then offer it a meal. And you know, 90% of the time that does the trick. So, and lots of other breeders experience that very same thing. So, you know, we as human beings might have problems with snakes being in rub systems, but really it is the best thing for them. It's how they like it. And people, I think, worry about how cruel it is to keep them in a box, and that's just because, you know, we wouldn't like it. Well, that's a very human thing, and they're not humans, they're snakes. So we need to sort of get out of this humanizing snakes mentality and just get on board with what it is they want, and they'll let you know. You know, there's things there that they do to let us know. So that's all it was. I wanted to cover it. It's a point that speaks volumes to me as a breeder, and you know, you guys take away and interpret that as you will. That's that then, guys. As always, I hope you got something from it. Definitely let us know what you think. Any ideas for future content, down in the comment section, let us know. I did previously mention, but just a reminder, you know, if we hit the 200 subscriber, I will do a t-shirt giveaway. So anyone, I haven't got my t-shirt on now, I'm donning one of the JKR relics now, but if you're interested in winning one of our t-shirts, if you can help us get to 200 subscribers, you know, I'll make it happen for you guys. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one.